You got the sweetest smile that I can never kiss.
Well, hello there. If it isn't YouTube itself, actually let me break from my usual YouTube voice, cause I got something big to tell you guys. I've been down in the literal dumps, to say the least, okay? And lately, I've been doing pretty darn good, okay? Let me tell you. Okay, so this thing happened with my friend, and it got me bad. It got me down bad, pretty bad. This happened a couple months ago now. A couple of my friends know this happened, and I wanted to make a video about giving you guys some tips on not to go through the same darn thing I went through. Let me tell you. That was gonna happen. That video was gonna happen, and I was gonna depress all of you, and something good happened. But let me tell you the story first, okay? Let me tell you this story. It's my story, okay? I went through this. I've been through it personally. I could tell you that these tips, they're gonna be great. I promise. Anyways, the video was going to be called Dealing with Years of Feelings and Then Rejection. I'm getting nervous. So, this topic, I've been through it personally. I had this huge, ginormous crush on this guy. I've known him for years. We were friends with all the same people. We had good times. We Skyped all the time. We talked all the time. We really had, I thought we had a connection. Years of feelings put and invested into this boy, this guy. Just a tiny bit older than I am. Just a little bit. And nothing happened. Not a thing. Nothing came from it, because when I confessed, I decided it might be a good time to introduce him to some of my friends he doesn't know. Because his only friends are the people I know. Anyways, that was a bad idea. I told a friend, I was like, listen, I'm gonna introduce him to a couple of my friends. He didn't reject me yet. He actually wanted to continue with it and hopefully become into a relationship with me. That was not rejection. That's not the rejection I'm talking about. The rejection I'm talking about will happen in a second. So, my friend, she was like, don't introduce him to this certain friend. And I was like, no, that's my friend. I want to introduce them, and they're gonna be good friends. And then I get to live, hopefully, happily ever after. If he decides he doesn't hate my friends or hate me. And me and him, we've known each other so long. And apparently, it's been a mutual feeling for a long time. But I told all my friends, I was like, the ones I was introducing him to, I was like, I've liked him for a long time. He's gonna say yes, I'm pretty sure, because he wants to get to that stage with me. And they were like, okay. And all of my female friends had boyfriends, and they were like, yeah, no worries. Well, one of the ones that had boyfriends, when she met him, she was like, ew, no, I don't like him. He's gross. And 2 days later, they were dating. And I didn't know. They didn't tell me until the third day. But on the second night, I was like, well, I still feel the same? You've met my friends. How do you feel? They all have boyfriends. And he was like, they do? And I was like, well, yeah, they all told me they have boyfriends. And unless one of them somehow broke up with one of them recently. It's like, oh, okay, well, I just want to be friends. And then 2 hours later, when it was the next day, right after 12 o'clock, because that conversation with him was before 12 o'clock. My female friend was like, I have another boyfriend. I was like, oh, really? You have two? She was like, I'm dating your crush. Insert name here. That was my rejection in disguise. So it turns out she still has a boyfriend, but whatever. Anyways, I was gonna give you guys like what to do, what not to do, how to figure things out. But no, something good came of that. Because I was in a run, I was torn apart. I was hurt. I was devastated. My friend did this to me, and she promised she'd never do something like that. But she did it. Fortunately, we're still friends, though she's ignoring me at this point in time. That doesn't matter. What matters is something good came out of all of this. All this heartbreak and terribleness. Something did good. Something good did happen out of all of this. Let me tell you what that is. I have a boyfriend! No. Let me explain. So, while I've been in this rut, this whatever you want to call it, digging my own hole with my feelings, came along someone that I thought I was going to be friends for a good time. Sit down, kids. Get ready for the twister. So on Discord, online, everywhere, even in life, I'm kind of a tsundere, whatever, rough, tough-looking little child thingamabob, whatever you want to call it. But on the inside, nice, soft, and squishy and cute. That's me. And I'm androgynous, so I go around using my masculine voice, and kind of getting the fangirls their fan service, and it was fun. Anyways, so I've always done stuff like that. That's a story for a different time. But I do stuff like that, and I was singing this one time to myself when this guy he comes up and he's like, "You're a good singer," and then I look at him and I'm like, "Oh, really? You think I'm a good singer?" And the things went from there. We were friends. We became good friends, and then recently. I was feeling vibes, when you feel vibes with somebody and you start to like them and you're like, this could be a thing. But I was like so cautious because of the last time. I was like, wait, this happened with my last person I was getting close with. I was like, I was like, I ain't messing with this. I was like, I'm gonna be good. I'm not gonna ruin my life over some person. Anyways, what ended up happening was, he's like, I like you a lot. Let me try to imitate his voice. I was in a call with him and my female friend. I'm gonna name her because she's such a good friend to me. Yeah, she's great. She's great. I love her. And her boyfriend is pretty chill too. And Ken, she was like, so, what's going on? And he was like, yeah, and I was telling her some of the facts that our mutual friend who's dating my ex-crush, about that situation that girl doesn't know that happened. And you know what he said? This guy that, yeah. He said, well, that doesn't matter, Alex. Because I like you. Boom! Wow, what? Who goes around I was like, he's joking, right? I felt bamboozled, guys. I felt like I just got bamboozled or lied to super hardcore. That's not what happened. I needed to breathe, so I went out for a breather. I got some water and some ice, and I was swirling it up the stairs, and I could hear Ken on the phone screaming. She's like, "Oh my god, you didn't hear that?" And I was like, "What?" If you know my friend Ken, if you ever met her online, she's rather crazy, and she'll scream a lot. And so, if you're ever on the phone with her, you know if you don't have her on speaker and she's screaming at you, you can hear her from a mile away. So, I come back, I put my headphones on, and I was like, Ken, what's going on? She's like, that was the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. She's like, tell me you heard that. I was like, I was breathing. Like, what do you want me to do? And she's like, repeat it, because I'm not going to do it myself. And she left the call, and he's like, mind you, like, I was already feeling vibes with this voice, so it was kind of like, ooh. He goes, Alex, I like you. Like spending time with you. I like listening to your voice, your laugh, your cute little snorts. And he continues on. And I just like started crying. I just bursted into tears. I was like, what's going on? I was like, help me, Jesus. I was like, Jesus, is that you? And that's another story for another time, for the Jesus is that you thing. I'll explain it some other time. Anyways, wow, I was like, God is real. It was a good time. So yeah, that happened. I was crying, and he was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "I'm okay." He's like, I'm sorry." And I was like, "Don't apologize." And to continue further, later he ended up asking me out, and you guys already know. I said yes, and he's great. There's nothing wrong. Like, there's 100 things right with him and 0 things wrong. And so something good happened out of my little whatever happened. Like, who even cares? Like, I'm happy now. Yes, I have a better man than anybody ever will. I'm kidding. If everybody thinks that about their significant other, but you know, I have a better man than you know what I'm talking about. But like, it's a good time. It's a good time. Thanks, guys.
Sweetest smile that I can never kiss. I'm a daddy, a tune to daddy. And might have been scared and hurt before, but he has made his heart and his arms my home.